Good day, everyone! Welcome back to Let's Play Arc the Lad. Last time we were going to Tokyo Forest, and I cut it short a little bit. Personal reasons. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed today's episode as we are doing side questing. Side questing, yes. After visiting the Tokyo Forest to see the Forest Spirit, after having learned of the errors of our ways from the Water Guardian, what could the Forest Spirit have to... The road must be healed, but that task will be more difficult than many imagine. Yeah, I imagine so. Do not forget the dry ground in Saraban and the words of the Earth Guardian. Aw. I wonder if she meant Water Guardian at that moment, but she said Earth Guardian, but so... Anyways, to side quest. Do not go to Saria, as that will sort of lock you into the next quest if you're following along, of course. Play along with me, please. I hope you're enjoying this walkthrough, playthrough, play along. Or if you're just following the story, I hope you're enjoying that too. So, if you're ever following along and playing this, just do not go to Saria yet. As long as you want to do side quests, never go to Saria. You want to almost end the game, go to Saria. But I would say my people are a little weak, especially for what's coming up, because there's going to be a couple of big battles. Because, of course, the story is directing us to go to Saria Castle, Valencia Castle, to find the Flame Guardian. Fire Guardian. Flame Guardian? I don't remember. So, let us return to Greyshinne and attempt to do some side questing here. What else could we do here besides go to the Amaidar Temple? No need to save. No need to save. So what we're going to do here is we're going to start off with a small bang. Bang of it. Like big bucks, no whammies, no whammies. A journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. Have you come to our sacred grounds to train body and spirit? Say no. And perhaps you seek to exercise the mind with fun and trivia. Yes. Excellent. Answer all my questions correctly and you may win something valuable. Okay, first question. How many characters are there in your party? Total will be 7? Correct. Who joined the quest right after Paco? Kukuru at the bridge. Right again, now something harder. What is Tasha's strongest ability? Ooh, that's the Oka Raiboko Zan. Yes, right again. What is the minister's name in Valencia Castle? Handle the Wise, I'm sure. So you are paying attention, I see. What's the guardian you met in Milmana? Oh, this is a trick question because it's the forest spirit we meet, but not the guardian. So we meet no guardians in Milmana. You're doing quite well thus far. How refreshing. Name of the royal airship given to you by the King of Saria. The Silver Noah. I've not seen such mental fortitude in some time. Which instrument doesn't Paco play? This might be a little hard. Speed ocarina, lion drum, a trophy trumpet. He has a healing harp, but I don't think it's an auto harp. I am in awe of your ability. Perhaps you missed your calling. Which, actually, I'm not too sure what an auto harp is in the actuality of what that would entail to be. What is the name of Arc's special ability that draws on cosmic powers from outer space? This can be a little tricky, although there's only one answer that's possible ability for Arc is the Gale Flash. But the reason why that might be a little tricky is because in the second game, the follow-up game to this, that continues the story right away, the Light Guardian and the Wind Guardian switch techniques for Arc. That was somewhat easy. I'll apologize for insulting your intelligence. Where is it said you will meet friends who will share your destiny? Oh. It was the gate to Valencia Castle, the bridge of anticipation, the bridge of meeting. Yes. Impressive. You are correct yet once more. You're the first who will answer all my questions. As such, you deserve a prize. Here is what you have won. Ooh, goody goody. The rare monolith crest. I was about to say. Legends say another powerful stone exists other than the 5 you seek, and its power can be merged with the power stones, creating an awesome force. Remember, the stones of the Guardians are essential to achieving success. Go in peace. Whatever that may be about the stones forging with the power stones, that may be, what do you call it? Beta? Prototyping? What they were thinking in prototype idea, but I don't think it ever comes to total fruition. But now, if we begin our journey of 1,000 steps to train our body and spirit, let us begin our training. The first match shall be easy. I pray it goes well for you. Ooh, they open the door and there are many slimes within. Well, let's go and slay those slimes. You know, count those monsters next time you see them when they open the door. That will be very important later on. The monolith crest is paralyzation protection. Okay. I don't need that right now. Okay, no need for Tosh to get stronger. Not in this battle. Arc 2, we can back him off. Just gonna do a little strategy playing around and have everybody... Oh yeah, there's the trophy horn. Oh. That's a horn, not a trumpet. But it is a healing harp, not an auto harp. Oh well. So, let us play the trophy horn. Wow, look at that range. The trophy horn, I believe, is, has a status element connected to it that would, weaken monsters, maybe? Rockets they hit? I'm not sure. But in case you haven't figured it out by now, a 1,000-mile step begins with a single step, and we are beginning with slimes in this battle. Why are we beginning with slimes? Because they are basically the first enemy in the whole game. And what do we do when we continue from slimes? We continue up to more and more monsters. So, that is how this side quest will progress, with us battling more and more severe monsters over and over again as we progress farther up the chain of fighting monsters here at Amaidar Temple. Not much to do besides fight the monsters, other than the trivia. And we did start off with the trivia, so that's just a little taste of what you can get for the trivia. But like I said, you want to count the monsters that appear when you open the door to Amaidar Temple. Seriously. I'm not kidding, I'm not joking one little bit. They will literally ask you about how many characters are in the doorway to Amaidar Temple when they open the doors. They're like, how many people can we fit in here? Well, do you know the answer? And I'm like, I wasn't paying attention all those times we did it. But no, you better pay attention, you better count. They want you to count. They want you to have a very observant mind. Sharp eyes, sharp mind. I think we're going to finish off these slimes pretty easily. Pretty quickly here now. Not going to survive much longer with my onslaught of characters coming at them. My onslaught of weak characters, who are all dealing at least 90 points damage to them each. Oh, well, Paco does 70 with his basic attack. Yeah, even Kakuru does 90. Paco, come on, man. Step it up. Ooh, Divide. Divide and Conquer? No. That is a spell by the monks in this game Sirius can learn. It basically pulls in magic from an area around the caster and will suck the life out of the enemies and into the allies. It's a pretty interesting technique. I mean, there's been other versions of the same thing in other games. Oh, Paco, you got bit by a slime. Bit by a slime. Okay, so not really all that much experience for fighting a bunch of slimes. But, can we begin another battle? Begin anew with a second battle? Wherever you shall go, you'll go with all your heart. I'll follow you down, but not that far. No, have you come to the sacred grounds and to train body and spirit? Yes. If you battle with all your will, this match shall go well for you. Fight well. Now, it's 3 in front. No. 5. Oh god. 7. 9. Did I say 7, 9, 5? So then that's 21. Okay. Oh, this battle will be hard, however. Very, very hard. This could be a very, very deadly battle if you are not careful. I'm gonna have Ark and Tosh and whoever come in and deal with some of these monsters, some of these flame monsters, because these flame sparkles have the ability to fuse into one another. So actually, because there's so many of these flame monsters, they can actually fuse not just once, but twice. So that means that those two would fuse that I'm killing right now, and the two next to them would fuse, and then they get next to each other, the new fused monsters, and fuse into another stronger monster. It's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous how strong these monsters can be at the start of the game. Like, these monsters, you met them in the earlier stages of the game. There were multiple copies of the same monster, and you could very possibly run into the fusion monsters. It's very difficult to deal with them. Not impossible, apparently, but it's difficult. They are very, very strong. It's just their AI is not very smart. That's all you got going for you. I'm gonna take out this monster. Give my guys back there a chance to gain some more XP. Ooh, see, Ark did only 7 points of damage to this thing. Judgment! Summon the Angel of Death and Destruction to rain down destruction upon this fire. Holy crap. This isn't going well. Okay, that went well. And they're not taking a lot of physical damage. Oh, this is Fujin, the new monster we got from the Water Guardian. When you get him started running, he turns into a tornado and starts Tasmanian deviling all over the place. But otherwise, he's just kind of a hippo dude. He has one ability he can use, but he can only use it in conjunction with another summoned creature. So don't expect to be able to use it for a while. Especially the way I'm doing this, where I want to get my characters stronger before continuing on to the final finale. The second to finale end of the game. You know. Because there will be another part after the next part of Syria where we visit the Guardian. But, that can be a little much tougher than the next part coming up, which means we're definitely way too weak at this point in the game to deal with the end game. Well, Tasha's is gonna counter and kill you. See, AI. Monsters AI. This is, you know, actually, if I recall, or in my estimation, this game, Ark Lad 1, is it might be a Super Nintendo game. You know, like Bahamut Lagoon, or, well, I don't want to say Shining Force because that's a Sega game, but same generation of games, but you gotta be impressed by what they did with by putting this game onto the PlayStation the way they did. And it looks good, but you can tell that it's a much older game, an older style game than what I'm sure people nowadays are used to. But even people back then, well, mean, you could tell this was a PlayStation game when you got it. I'm not sure you could tell it used to be maybe an even old. It's a new and improved version of an even older game. You know, like a version 2 or a remaster, but for a PlayStation from Super Nintendo or some such. Okay, we are not dealing well with these monsters. I'm like a floor. Get XP, Mofly. Get XP. Yes, sir. Yeah, I am pretty sure that this is an older generation of game brought up onto the PlayStation for the Arclight collection that was made in America. I don't believe the original version was released in America. I'm pretty sure, if anything, if I had to guess, with the fact that they released 1, 2, and 3 on the PlayStation all at once in one big collection, I think maybe they had just released number 3 in Japan or wherever the game was created. Probably Japan, of course. Oh crap. Self-explosion! Ooh. Well, that sucks. And then they when the company, I believe Artworks, G-Craft, or some such, some company was tasked with remaking the game for Western audiences and made all 3 games to tell the story of Arc the Lad. Even the hare will bite when cornered. Have you come? Yes. To terrain. The danger grows in the proving ground. Match. Be careful. Be cautious. Do not attack without restraint. Ooh, Doll Masters. And yes, there are... Ah, that's an amalgamation that's bad on my eyes. But yes, I believe it is 5, 7, and 9. However, in the battles themselves, you are fighting 3, 5, 7, 10, 12, 15, 16. 16 individual monsters, all for your liking of destroying. 2 gives you a good number of monsters to destroy. Divide. Where's Divide? This one? Yeah, steals foes' HP and gives party. That's pretty awesome. Like I said, some other games have done that I'm familiar with. Where they do a draining ability and give it to your party. Not just like the drain ability or drain spell from games, but an actual draining spell like that. What can I talk about now? I'm gonna continue with a battle or 2. You could have done this earlier, and it may have been advisable to do this earlier, because there is another reward you can get for doing some of these battles. You don't have to do them all at the same time. You can do some of them now, some of them later. You can save them for the end game and do them all at once. But there's a reward that is rewardable within these battles. And see, look at these monsters just walking around all weirdly. Walking around like they're drunk, like Ishibela says all the time nowadays. No, not nowadays. He say a lot, but he especially liked to say when he was filling it in the in-game maps for Chrono Trigger, DS, and Final Fantasy IV. Not that one. It is interesting to... I think it's semi-interesting to go through an RPG filling in the map that you have to follow for the game. It can be a reward. It can be rewarding in its own right. It can be. You can have rewards given to you for doing the map. But there are games like Path of Exile and Diablo where there is the map that you're exploring, and you're filling in the mini-map and all that, but because every instance of the areas you're in are randomized, it doesn't really matter to fill in the map, because when you reload the instance, it's just gonna be a whole new random instance of the map. Which becomes its own... Well, you would think without... I mean, you have to think about the coding and the work that goes into making the map to be random every time. Once you realize that there are certain things that are always going to be set up in a certain way, like north is north, south is south, west is west, and east is east, then you kind of realize that certain things appear in certain spots in random maps, procedurally generated maps. And then you can also start learning how they relate to one another. Usually it's in point of the story of the game. Because, like Path of Exile, for example. Back in the old days, before some of the recent more updates to the map, the riverways to the southwest of the forest encampment in Act 2 of the game, Chapter 2. Hold on, let me see what the monk has to say. Better a diamond with a flaw than a pebble without one. Maybe. Perfect training showed you a perfect warrior. Watch your technique from this point on. Good luck. Ooh, bats. Yay. Now then, the riverways used to be, you would have to take the spear-like needle equipment item that you got from killing a giant spider, and a little corrupted, putrefied gem, and put them together to poison a tree inside the riverways. And you had to find this tree because it was not in anywhere in particular. But you could learn that the map was set up so that you would poof in, warp in via the waypoint, and there would be these little nodules on the ground, kind of directing you towards this old off the path, beaten up cobblestone pathway, and you would eventually come to the small cave with a giant tree overgrowing it. And that is the tree you're supposed to use the poison needle to destroy, so you can get into that cave. And let's see. Dumb bats, stop attacking Iga. God for Satan. Spawn of Satan. If not for a little programming into the maps, visual cues like those little nodules, or even nowadays another map area called Ledge, which is basically just one long hallway from one cliff side to the other cliff side. But then you get to the waypoint in the middle of the map, and if you were to warp into the waypoint in the middle in a new random instance, you would not know which way to go off the bat, except for the fact that they programmed in some little carrion stones to point the way to the way forward. Ooh, look at that, shiny. It's shiny. Whoa, holy crap, that heal hurt quite a bit. Yeah, go Kukuru. Okay, Iga probably got enough experience by now. Stop sucking Gogen, Bat. So, it helps when you learn an iteration of generations of video gaming to program in stuff like that, to the little visual cues in the battlefields and the... Like, see, this mat is like this little flame, so this way is facing up, it's facing out to a burning city or some such, but then you don't really have a sense of where the rest of the temple is. It's like you're on the top of the temple or on an overlook of the temple, or being able to more visually, like Pokemon Blue. You start the game, you're in that one house in the beginning of the game, you're upstairs, you go downstairs, it's the living room and the kitchen together. And your mom's in there watching TV. And you're like, Mom, make me a sandwich, but no. She's like, no, I want to go to bed. And she's like, oh, but I have no bed to sleep in. I have no bedroom. But no, and then Pallet Town, it's just Professor Oak's lab, your house, and Gary's house. But no, to be able to represent visually in the game that the spectacle, the grand spectacle, the openness of the world has really improved in recent generations of gaming, as we can see from Breath of the Wild and Final Fantasy VII remakes. The longer the night lasts, the greater our dreams. Please. I have enough dreaming as it is. Do I want to fight this next battle? Learn to fight the well in the night of our misfortune so we may realize our dreams. Oh god, there's fight. Still not up to that battle I was looking for. Maybe I'll make this a smally long episode. I have the time, I believe. Yeah, so... Oh. So there is a way to look at everyone's levels really quickly like that. Kangara and Gogen are really low. And then I don't know what levels his summons are at. So we'll just go over here and support Gogen and Changara as they level up. Along with the summons. One thing I am sad about, however, with the openness of Minecraft, it's kind of like a blank piece of paper, you know? You look at a blank piece of paper and you want to draw something, you want to write something, you want to make something, you want to fold it into 1,000 different shapes, and you're like, okay, how do I start? Although I have heard that a piece of paper you cannot fold more than 7 times. And I don't know, it can be fun running around doing the random stuff that you can find in an open world like Breath of the Wild or Minecraft, but I do like the stories of games. Trust me, I was very disappointed about Breath of the Wild when I learned that the dungeons of the game were... There's only 4 dungeons. God, I hate the fact that there's only 4 dungeons. It reminds me of Majora's Mask, but at least Majora's Mask has enough side quest stories to keep you entertained, you know? But then, like, Breath of the Wild only has 4 dungeons, just like Majora's Mask did. But there's... I don't know how to say it. It's like too much white paper. You know, it's all colored pretty. It's all got the wild animals hunt, it's got the monsters to fight, the weapons to break, the weapons to collect all over again, but it sometimes feels like too much white paper. Like, what are you doing this for, that for? You're not getting experience. Technically, though, there is supposedly a hidden experience level in that game, but... But there's no story to... Although, it did fix that a little bit. Like what I was about to say, there's no story to killing a million bokoblins in Hyrule in Breath of the Wild. I think they did fix that a little bit in Tears of the Kingdom because they did end up having a side quest where they had the forces of Hyrule march onto enemy encampments and do grand battle with multitude of monsters, and you would join them and destroy the evil infesting the world. And that was cool. Got to see that story build up a little bit. Got to enjoy slaying monsters for a reason. Do I not like mindless slaying of monsters, although I play Path of Exile so much? Like seriously, I play Path of Exile a lot. But it's so fun to come over to that game. It's not just a blank piece of paper, it's got all these little... all the gems and all the weapons and all the different passive skill tree you can build in so many different ways. But then it's got all the special gems, like they just introduced some new sets of gems. Like they're called transfigured gems. I found an interesting gem from the Transfiguration. It's, you may not know what I'm talking about, but I'll talk about it anyways, and if you want to talk about it in greater detail, let me know, and we'll talk about it. Essence Drain of Wickedness. And what it is it's the same Essence Drain as normal, except that with the Wickedness part, it pierces all targets. So it essentially removes the need to link it with a Pierce projectile support skill, gem. And then I would say greatly increases the efficiency of that skill. Because normally Essence Drain would normally just hit one enemy and then be done. It would set its secondary statuses into effect, but then you'd have to fire off another Essence Drain, because it's a spell that you cast over and over again. And because it's single target, it's not the most effective thing. It does some little pop-off AoE damage, but it's so negligible. But I would love to make some kind of new build with that gem in mind, because that would, just sounds fun. Because Essence Drain by itself would normally, because what it does, it's a Chaos spell, Chaos being a, off-brand elemental, but it's magical, spell-based magic damage, instead of being fire, lightning, or ice. And then it's, it will do a secondary debuff to where that secondary debuff is regenerating some of your health for all the damage it does to the monsters. So for it to be piercing through as many monsters as it can hit, then that means that effectively you're gaining a little bit more health back for 20 monsters in a straight line. But then if you were to increase the efficiency of the gem, of the spell with, say, some other support gems, that would increase the number of projectiles you fire, and then the passive skill tree where you're dealing more spell damage for having a shield equipped, or wands equipped, or staffs, war staffs, battle staffs, the two-handed, like a quarterstaff, or half-staff. Although technically quarterstaff and half-staff just mean they're holding it differently. It's basically like a bow. A bow, you know, like Donatello from the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. It's a wooden stick, long wooden stick. But it's got, in Path of Exile, they've got the staffs set up so that they're either half magical or half physical, or mainly physical and little magical, or a little magical, mainly magical, a little physical. So it's really interesting to build all these different characters, you know? I like building I like coming up with my own ideas, I like building some off other ideas I've seen. Like they typically for a season or a league, Path of Exile will have a build of the week style video where the producers, the developers of the game have been given an idea by like seeing the best ability around or most creative ability around from one of the players of the game, or was sent into them or something. I don't know exactly how it works, but and then they do a showcase showing off that gem, that ability, the equipment they have equipped for that ability, the build. It's the build of the week. And they did just recently showcase 5 of them for this recent league. They were really interesting. And they did make good use of the couple new transfigured gems. So that was really cool to see some of the new gems in action. Oh, but I'm running low on energy here. I'm gonna wrap it up here. I bet you're running low on energy watching me, aren't you? Listen to me chat away, jabber away. Jib, jib, jibby, jibboody. Oh, there's that fly. It's just a little fly. It's a little gnat. Or a big gnat, but it's a little fly. Well, everyone, we visited Tokyo Forest, we destroyed a bunch of monsters, we did some trivia games. Until next time, I hope you take care of yourselves and have fun. And I hope you enjoyed this video. Leave a like if you do. Leave a comment if you want to talk about some other stuff. Or talk about the game, or enjoy the video. But until the next video, take care of yourselves and have a good day. Bye-bye, everyone. Bye-bye.